just want to show you some data as to why you should be recruiting right now and ramping up for spring. You don't want to wait till February. You don't want to wait till March, or you're going to lose out big time. Let's show you some data behind this. It's not just Shawn Day saying it, but it's going to be Indeed, Indeed.com, and a few other job boards. So let's go over to Indeed here. Indeed is the largest job board that there is, and they've got the most data. And so that's why I tend to like to use them on some research. Not everything, but in this particular case. So what I did was I pulled up general labor job as a job title or occupation category, and I didn't put a location, and we're just going to go with the United States, basically. And the first number I look at is the competition score. And this is January of this past year, 2021. It is now January 2022. Don't have data on January 2022 yet, but we're going to look at January 2021 because the trends are going to be very, very much the same. The numbers may vary, but the trend will definitely be the same. So the first thing I look at is the competition score. The competition score for general labor is 50. This number represents how competitive it is to find that specific job title, general labor, in a certain geographic area, in this case around the country. And the higher this number is, or the closer this number is to 100, because 100 is the most. That's the top you can get. If you got 100 out of 100, if that competition score is 100, that means that it is the most difficult job title you can possibly imagine, and it's super difficult to find somebody with that job title. So in January for general labor, it's pretty moderate. Moderate competition, 50 out of 100. The number of job seekers was up by almost 90,000 right here from December. That trend seems to hold true all the time. December's horrible recruiting month. January's fabulous. So you've got a lower competition score, which tells us that it's easier to find a general labor position. In addition to that, there are a lot more job seekers in the market compared to the prior month. And the number of employers that are looking for general labor people is 8,700 in the month of January. So let's look at February and compare. February 2021. So the competition score has crept up pretty significantly to 62. So that's now telling us that in January, when it was 50, we've got moderate competition. It's still moderate, but that number's trending upwards. It's more difficult the closer it gets to 100. Something very significantly happens. The number of job seekers for a job title searching for general labor jobs since January has dropped significantly. 155,000. While the number of people looking for that type of job has dropped dramatically in February, the number of employers or your competition in finding that job title has gone up dramatically from January at 8,700 to 10,139 businesses around the country looking for general labor positions. And many of them might be looking to hire 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 or 15 general labor positions. So that number is much higher if you put it in that perspective. So what happens in March? In March, that competition score drops up into the high competition for sure. It is now extremely difficult to find a general labor person. Now, the number of job seekers crept up a little bit, but this had a little bit more to do with COVID and bouncing off COVID and stuff. We'll see. It'll be interesting in March, but that's not enough of an increase to offset, number one, the competition score, but even more, the number of competitive businesses that are looking to take from your labor market. The number has gone from, in January, 8,700, in March, up to almost 14,000. That's significant. That makes it much more competitive. So it makes this number not so important, or certainly not as weighted as importantly as this number here and this number here. So in January, competitive score is 50, 1.6 million job seekers. It's still less. Even though it went up from February, it's still much less than January. And your competition, in other words, how many businesses are competing for that? 8,700. So a lot more, significant much more competition and businesses looking for that general labor person that you're looking for. And then if we went into April, again, we see another crash, another decline here, a big decline, 151,000 less from March. And this score has crept up a little bit again, so we're getting even more competitive. And this number has crept up again from March. But if we look at January, low score compared to 78 here in April. A lot of job seekers are starting to look for jobs, 1.6 million compared to 1.3 million in April. But this number has significantly jumped up. You've got almost 16,000 businesses looking for that general laborer compared to only 8,700 in January. This is just the plain data on it. And I'm telling you, this is what you need to really think about when it comes time to recruiting. And right now it's January 5th. So if you look to recruit, I want you to click the button and set up a demo with me. I'll show you our automated recruiting system, and you can steal everything you want from it and try it on your own. That's fine. And I'll help you out with that. Or you can pay us a few $100s to do it for you. Nothing is going to be more important than recruiting, just like last year, but it's going to be more important than ever in 2022, or you're going to be left behind. You want to start now, immediately start to set up a demo with me so you can learn what you need to do to find good employees this year. Don't lose out on this. If it's January 5th right now and we get a demo set up this week or next week, we're already in the middle of January. So if we got you set up and you've got a system and some automation set up and you learn how to recruit, you're already at the end of January. So you're not setting up interviews until the first week or two of February. Then you're going to be hiring by the end of February, right? That's if you start now and understanding the systems that you need to put in place for recruiting. So go ahead and set up that demo so that you can hire some people by the end of February to be ready for March and April, and you're not losing out. If you don't do that, if you don't recruit today in January, starting like now, what's going to happen is you can go into February and March, but you're going to have to spend a ton of money on boosting and sponsoring job ads on Facebook and on Indeed and on ZipRecruiter and everywhere else. A ton more money you're going to waste where you could have done it maybe a little bit less, spent a lot less in January compared to March and April. So let's get you started. Click that button. Let's go after it. Let's get you some people so that you do not have to turn down clients this year. Let's grow 50%, 100%, 200% this year, and I'll find you some employees. Click that button. Let's have a demo.